Want your product drop to be a huge success? Here's exactly how I would do it with email. We're going to take Dalen's brand, Lense, as an example. It's a new brand. He's never launched anything before from it. He has a ton of eyes coming in from his huge personal brand, but I noticed a few opportunities in his email strategy that could help him capitalize on every single piece of attention he's getting. And the best part is you can also use this for your drop strategy as well. So let's get right into it. First up, what is Lense currently missing? Now, this may just look like it's for Lense, but a lot of brands actually have these same issues as well. One of the first ones I always see is going to be that double opt-in. A double opt-in really reduces your email list growth by 20 to 25%. When you have like 100,000 people coming in like Daniel does, that's 25,000 people that you're missing out on, which is a lot of revenue in the long run. On smaller scales, even if you have 10,000 eyes coming in, that's still 2,500 people that you're missing out on. A few other things is I didn't notice any teaser emails. I've been on the list for a few weeks now and I really haven't received anything. There's no welcome flow when I did submit my email, which is going to help engage new leads and turn them into repeat buyers if he ever does a launch again, because this is such a limited launch. After that, I said lack of post-launch flows. I imagine if there's no welcome flow set up, there probably isn't any post-launch flows like post-purchase, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, anything like that. They're probably not set up, but I am just looking from the outside in. For all of the post-launch flows and things like that, I will be doing a separate video focusing on one flow at a time, so you'll be able to use those in the future. So basically, this is going to be a 10,000 foot view of everything that I would cover. We're going to go over the pre-launch, the launch, and the post-launch. I'm going to go over things like campaigns, how the launch is going to look and what emails you're going to use, and then the post-launch, what you could do afterwards if you sell out or if you don't sell out. Just a quick note, get on Klaviyo. Not only does my agency only specialize in Klaviyo, but we've worked with other things like MailChimp, MailerLite, ConvertKit, all kinds of things. And especially if you're e-commerce, you need to be on Klaviyo. Here's 9 reasons that I came up with as to why you need to be on Klaviyo. It's specifically made for e-commerce, so if you're an e-commerce brand not on Klaviyo, you're missing out on a bunch of money. Let's get right into pre-launch. The biggest problem with 87% of launches is actually deliverability. Now, what is deliverability? It's basically inbox providers want to provide a high-level experience for their customers by showing them only what they want to see. Deliverability is essentially just your Google credit score. If you have a good credit score, you'll land in the primary tab right here. If you have a bad credit score, you'll end up in spam, which is really not where you want to be. And if you're in the middle, you'll end up in promotions, which is also not ideal. We want to try to keep you in the primary tab, especially for something as big as a launch. Like I said, why is deliverability so important for a launch? For any brand, established or fresh, Daniel's brand is fresh. Your brand could be established. You want to only be sending email campaigns to your engaged customers 3 to 5 weeks before. And you have to have a welcome flow in place because this flow gets 70% open rates, boosting your domain health and making sure you can have a smooth launch. Because during the launch, you're going to open it up to the whole list to get as much revenue as possible. As a result, this is going to hurt your sender reputation. And if you start off with a bad reputation, you're just going to go straight to spam. Brands with good sender reputation, people who are only sending to engaged customers and have a welcome flow, they're going to end up in the main inbox throughout the entirety of the launch, which is crucial, which basically just means more people seeing your emails, more revenue generated. Super simple. Set up the welcome flow ASAP. Now, even if you just have one email in there, it's better than nothing. Your welcome flow will prime your future customers for the launch. This is huge. On top of that, it will boost your deliverability. And of course, with every launch, there is going to be an influx of email customers coming in because they only have one option, especially on Daniel's page. They either opt in or they miss out. Now, this is a pre-launch welcome flow outline. The pre-launch welcome flow is going to be slightly different from your standard generic welcome flow, which usually comes with like 10% discounts and stuff like that. This one is going to be more of like an indoctrination flow. So I'm just going to touch on like a high level of it. The trigger is new subscriber joins the list. You can add certain filters like only coming from a certain subscriber link, but Daniel only has one. So if you only have one, don't worry about this. First up, you're going to have email 1, which is a welcome. You're going to introduce the brand, basically say a thank you, add your unique selling point, and then you want to whitelist CTA. What I like to do is that with this is just reply to the email with your favorite color, reply to the email with what you're excited for, or go up and click the star, and when you're done, reply to this email. Little things like that, just so that people are actually engaging, and this is going to help boost your sender domain. Email 2 is going to be share the why behind your brand. Now, Daniel does have a big personal brand, so people might not need this email, but it's always good to do just in case people are actually new to your brand. Another really fun thing to do is have images of the founder, or a YouTube video works great. A brand called Athletic Brewing does this in theirs. They have like a video that they recorded. They put it up on YouTube, and their email just has a CTA that says learn more about us, and it takes them to the YouTube video. It's like a 15-minute long podcast style YouTube videos. So that's super cool. And I would definitely recommend doing something like that. Email 3, highlight the benefits. Why should they choose your brand? And something as specific as like just eyewear or even jewelry. Why should they choose your product over something else? Email 4 is going to be introduce blurred images if you have them. A lot of brands don't actually have them super early on. Some of them get their products super last minute. But if you do have them, just introduce blurred product images, tease the launch, treat them like VIPs. You're going to be the first to know, because at the end of the day, your list is going to absolutely carry your launch, whether you want it to or not. Email 5, this is where you're going to create urgency. You're going to count down to the launch. This can be sent 14 days before the launch, or it can be sent 5 days before the launch. It really depends on what your strategy looks like and how you want to go about launching your product. Another big thing would have been consistent campaigns 3 to 5 weeks before the launch. Now, his product does launch something like January 17th, so it's a little late to be doing that, but you can definitely utilize this for your brand. Launches are piggybacked off of one thing, and that's excitement. It's something new. It's something that people have never had before. While you are teasing the launch on your social media to get thousands of new eyes, emails will ensure that the committed eyes get excited and stay engaged. What is a rocket launch without the countdown? Here are 9 pre-launch campaign ideas. For all campaigns building up to the launch, you should be focusing on 3 huge things. 1, you should be sending at the same exact time every single day. We found in the AM from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. recipient local time works best for most brands. 2nd, you should be sending on the same days. This varies depending on demographic, and same thing with the time. It really depends. If you're sending to business owners, sometimes 6 p.m. might work better because they don't check their emails in the morning. But if you're sending to busy moms or things like that, 6 to like 9 a.m. works really good for them. So it really just depends on you, your brand, who you're selling to, and things like that. 3rd of all, have fun. The whole point is to create excitement, so be excited. Now, I'm not going to cover all of these super in depth. I'm going to cover the 3 that are really big personally to me. The first one is going to be the big reveal. This is one that honestly a lot of brands miss out on. You want to share like a cryptic image. Another really fun we do for jewelry brands is we do really close-up details of like, what does the gem look like? What does the necklace look like? Little things like that. This is going to help you create curiosity without revealing a bunch of the product, or you can just straight up reveal the product if you want as well. Another one is why we made this. A lot of people nowadays, we're in a why market. Why should I buy this? Why should I buy your brand? Why should I go with this product instead of this one? Especially because price can be a really big factor for this nowadays. And I think Daniel's glasses are like $129. So even if you have a more expensive product, this is going to be a huge one as to why should they choose your product? Who's behind it? Next up, a really big one that I really like is a VIP list invitation. This is kind of a different style of a drop. For some brands, we do a VIP drop 12 hours before the actual drop, which sometimes sells out, so it really just depends. But basically, you announce an exclusive VIP list with either free shipping, maybe a free gift, maybe they get an extra hat or something with the product. And the CTA is basically just become a VIP. This is usually just a sign up to SMS. So this helps you also hit more channels and become omnichannel, which helps you sell more. I'm not going to cover all of these. If you want all of these, you can get the document down below. You don't have to enter your email or anything. You can just go ahead and have it and use it, and then comment below if it works for you. Bonus tip. This is pre-launch still. So 12 hours before the launch, you're going to send one final pre-launch email. We use this exact template below to generate a brand nearly $20,000 from one email with a segment that was just a 1/6 of their list size. Here it is. Now, this is, like I said, that VIP launch. We did a launch 12 hours before the actual entirety of the list got access to it. This works great. You can also just frame it like this and then still launch it to the whole list. They won't always know if you're launching it to the whole list. So that's a great thing about it. You can treat your entire email list as a VIP segment and tell them they're getting exclusive early access, when in reality, they might just be getting 30 more minutes of access compared to other people. It really just depends. So go ahead, screenshot this, take it. Again, if you want to copy and paste it, the link will be in the description to this document so you can have it for yourself. Now we're into the exciting part, the launch. So hopping straight into it, there's 5 emails that I've outlined. I'm sure Daniel will go, we're live, and then straight to email 5, which is going to be sold out. That's absolutely no problem. Now, hopping right into it, this is the 5-step launch sequence. I'm not going to go super in depth into every single one, but first off, there's email 1, we're live. This pretty much goes to show this one you really want to have an excited, like, it's finally here, get yours now, the moment you've been waiting for style of email. Second up, there's a don't miss out 12 hours after launch. This really depends on your launch sequence. Sometimes we do 6 to 8 emails for a launch, but it really just depends on your brand, how big is your brand, and little things like that. Right here, you're going to do a don't miss out 12 hours after your launch. You're going to build urgency for those who haven't purchased yet. This is going to be a going fast, don't miss out, little things like that. Email 3 is going to be why everyone's talking. if you have testimonials, this is going to be the place you want to use it. This is going to be the morning of the next day, or you can send this 12 to 16 hours in. A really great thing to do is to have influencers actually test your products beforehand so that you have a small handful of testimonials that you can use for your emails. After that, final hours, secure yours. The goal with this one is to push hesitant buyers over the edge. So sometimes a really fun way to do this is simply with an infographic, or to only send to people who haven't purchased yet, because you do have to use different lingo for people who are a little bit more hesitant to purchase. Email 5 is the one everyone wishes to send at least once in their product drop. It's sold out. Here's what's next. The goal is to keep people engaged. Now, a lot of people, after they drop something, kind of just forget about their email list and just go on with their day. But basically what you want to do with this is still keep them engaged. You want to add them to a whitelist, and you want to still be sending them emails. A really fun way to do a thank you note after a launch sells out is just a simple text-based thank you from the founder saying thank you for your support, and keep it super generic and super sincere. Now, I know that was a short one, but we're into post-launch. Launches are super short, sweet, and hopefully Daniel has everything set up way before he's about to launch, but now we're into post-launch. This is where you get into that nurturing stage and where you're able to build up a little bit more infrastructure. And of course, there's two different outcomes. You either sold out or you didn't sell out, and I'm going to cover a little bit of hypotheticals of both. First up, you're going to be implementing the basic flows. Now, if you don't already have these implemented before the launch, now is the time you're going to want to do that, especially if you do or don't sell out. Like I said in the beginning, I'll be covering every single one of these in separate videos just to make sure that you can get as much value as possible from every single flow. But ones that should be set up before the launch is even done. A really big one is going to be your post-purchase flow. This is going to be for those, I think he's selling 10,000 units. If you're selling 10,000 things and you don't even have a thank you post-purchase email set up, you're missing out on a huge chance to make people feel heard, make people seen, and make people feel appreciated. Now, of course, these are super simple. Welcome flow 5 to 7, site abandoned 1 to 2. When you get into more advanced brands doing $1 million plus a month, you're going to see something like 7 to 20 emails in certain flows. Now, the product sold out. Celebrate success by sending a thank you directly from the founder, like I said above. Afterwards, focus on a wait list, building more engagement, and focusing on testimonials. A really big thing someone like Daniel could use for this is, say he posts a new YouTube video, he can use Lens and direct traffic from the email list into YouTube. That's a great way to still nurture them and keep them in your content funnel and make sure that you're taking care of your customers. Product not sold out, and don't worry, it happens to all of us. Sometimes products just don't sell out. But please, for the love of everything, do not run a flash sale or a bundle, especially if you want to be more of a premium brand where you earn your customers' respect and they know that the price that it is the price that they're going to pay. If you do this, this will destroy your brand identity and turn your customers into discount buyers, which basically just means every launch you do in the future, people aren't going to buy the launch because they know afterwards if you don't sell out, they're just going to get a discount, that's not what you want. So you want to focus on gathering testimonials, sending FOMO, and building rapport for the second drop. And another great thing to do is just gather feedback. What went wrong? Did not enough people know about it? Little things like that. That's all I got for this one. Super quick, super to the point. Again, if you want this document, go ahead and go down below. You can have the doc. No email required. It's all yours. Now, let's make it happen. Daniel, if you're watching this, book a call. We can get straight into the audit. If you want me to do this for your brand, you can book a call, or you can go to my website down below and apply for a free 53-point email audit, which is where we go in depth into everything that you have to make sure that there's opportunities that we can fill. And honestly, even if you have a question, go ahead and book a call. Don't worry about it. It's not a disguised sales call. I just want to help. And as always, send more emails. Cheers.